This devotion is based on Psalm 86, and I'll be doing the odd psalm here and there during the summer. But what I would love you to look at with this psalm is it is an excellent example of how psalms are poetry. Beautiful language, very thoughtful language, but also structure like poetry. And this psalm particularly is very symmetrical. You look at it first, you think, oh yes, 17 verses, odd number. But there's actually 5 stanzas in this psalm. The first stanza is 4 verses, the last stanza is 4 verses, and then 3 groups of 3 stanzas in the middle, and each of them is set out intentionally. So firstly, the first and last stanzas, the first 4 and last 4 verses, they are the lament. They are the cry for help. They start with the typical language. Verse 1, "Hear me, Lord, and answer me, for I am poor and needy." So they are the lament part. In the first part, we see all the way through that the writer describes himself as your servant. He's basically saying to God, I'm faithful to you. But also in the last stanza, in verse 15, there's the classic description of the character of God. He is faithful. It's the description used when God had his encounter with Moses on the mountain. And then there's the 3 stanzas in the middle, 3 groups of 3 verses, which are of interest to me. I've called them 3 A's. First is assurance. When I call, you answer me because you are good or loving. This is verse 5 to 7. You are a God who answers. That gives me assurance. The second stanza I've called attributes, verses 8 to 10. These talk about the attributes of God. And basically saying there is no God like you. No one, nothing compares to you. Verse 10 says, for you are great and do marvellous deeds. You alone are God. And the third stanza there, verse 11 to 13, I've called it attention. In fact, verse 11 is my highlight of the psalm. It says, teach me your way, Lord, that I may rely on your faithfulness. Give me an undivided heart that I may fear your name. Great psalm. Enjoy the structure.